This week we have Autopolis in Daily Race C. It's a track where overtaking is really difficult, but this time it's not about making passes, it's more about managing your tires and getting the most out of them. So in this video, you'll see just how much of a difference does it make and why it's so important to keep an eye on your tires. Now let's do it. I mean, I got wind in front of me and I just have to say that it feels a little bit better when he's in front of me and I'm behind, not feeling the pressure constantly. But I'll just try to have a look and see if I can maybe manage and potentially do what he did in the previous race, really managing my tires and then going for it. I mean, he's still overtaking in the process. Whoa! Okay. That was unexpected. But yeah, for example, I will really try to minimize my inputs. Like my steering inputs will remain minimal. Like for example here, I'm not really controlling the car with the steering wheel, I'm going to control it with my brakes. Swipe, I can go for it. I don't wanna be too aggressive. I see people are way too aggressive. At points I'll have to be aggressive. I mean, I already gained a couple of places. And the key here was not to push too hard in the middle of the corners. You can see that the tires begin to overheat, and when that happens, you really start losing grip and overall tire performance. Overheating too much can cause heavy tire wear, which affects your pace in the long run. And after a few laps, you start losing time and consistency. So it is just better to stay smooth through those sections, keeping the tires under control without adding unnecessary stress, which is usually just about turning a little bit less than usual. That's exactly what I focused on, and after a while, I cut the group again and really started making some solid moves. I'm going to sacrifice a bit of speed now to get more speed later in the race. By the way, in the hairpins you have to turn. Like, I don't think I need to explain that. It's almost impossible to go on the outside there. It's better to let it go. Oh, I think he actually wanted to avoid me. Overall, I think he just wanted to avoid crashing into me, which is why he spun out of that corner. It was quite unfortunate, but up to that point, things were actually looking quite good. So I was just keeping my tires under control and I guess kind of setting myself up for the next move. Let's go wide. Let's go like really wide. Look at the tires. I would say barely wore. Let's go with him. Sorry, wind for that little push, but I mean, I have a feeling like there is a lot of lag still. And all of that went really well for me. I gained another position, and it was only lap 3. So there was still plenty of time left in this race to make things work. I did notice a bit of lag, which definitely made it a little bit more challenging, but I guess this track is already quite challenging on its own. Look at this. People going wide. Whoa! People losing it. And that's exactly why I said things are not easy here. It was definitely a real challenging race. What made it even tougher was the tire wear, which, I mean, some of the guys were actually struggling with. So I managed to make a few easy passes, which was definitely what I was aiming for, keeping it kind of smooth and controlled. When you compare my tires to the others, you can clearly start to see the difference. And that's why I'm careful not to turn too sharply into the corners. And if you just have a look at my steering, you'll notice that I'm almost never reaching 90 degrees. I keep my inputs minimal, and that's exactly how you keep your tires alive in a situation like this one. So the goal is also to prevent them from overheating, and that strategy started to pay off. And of course, by lap 3, I was already up in 6th place, which was amazing, to be honest. And from there, it was just about keeping the pace, or just keeping up with wind, saving the tires, and really waiting for that right moment to go for a move. And then, Wind went for a move, and I guess I just tried to follow him there. And it's almost time to pit. Like usually the pit window, lap 6, lap 7. Let's see if I can overtake. Let's brake late. Way more grip on the inside. There we go. Gap to the lead, 4.9. Now, the gap is less than 5 seconds to the leader. So, to make this race work and really try to climb on the highest step of the podium, you just need to keep your tires alive. This is one of the biggest lessons I can share about this track and specifically this combination. And to be honest, I am not perfect about it. I'm just not. But what I've learned so far is how to make it work better than the other drivers. But of course, there are better drivers than me doing this. So by lap 6, we caught the others and Wind started making some moves again. But the thing is now that I can stay out for longer and then later I will have significantly better tires. I mean, it's difficult to overtake, it really is. But if you can manage your tires, your chances of a better result are there. You're actually improving your chances of a better result. He's pitting, right? Oh yeah, we are staying out. Everyone is pitting, we are staying out. And this was the point where we really wanted to improve our chances. So we decided to stay out for that extra lap. The problem was that the pace wasn't that great on that final lap. You usually lose a second or maybe even 2 seconds because of the tires. So Wind kind of managed to pull away a little bit, and I mean, to be fair, the pace was still solid. It might not seem like it's a huge difference, but the other guys that pit early, and I mean, I just have to say it, undercut really works well, but then later you will struggle. So Wind was slightly faster than me, and it might not seem like much, but that half a second that he made a difference, especially if you have a slightly better pit entry. I went in, switched to a fresh set of soft tires, which gave me plenty of grip, and with those new tires on, I was ready to push again and go on the attack. Second, okay. Oh, yep, he got that place. Better pit entry. Now you can see how much of a difference half a second to 7/10 make in a race like this one. And at this point I knew I had much better tires than the other guys in front, so I was, thinking about not really pushing it at this point, really trying to keep an eye on the tires, because basically in the middle of this track you can't really make a move, can you? So it was only a matter of time before I can get that position in front of me. I stayed close, not too close, and I started applying more pressure and slightly tried to adjust my lines to get a slightly better exit onto the straight. Did he try to defend? Wait a second. Let's do it. B4. Couch in front of me. Now I was up in 4th place, and with Couch Driver just in front of me, I knew that his tires were in a slightly worse shape. So once again, I made a few small adjustments to my lines and just went for a move in the same way. I try to do the same thing. I think he's not defending here. No, not defending. Yeah, by the way, when I'm saving tires, I'm just mostly coasting through the corners. And now we got 4 laps to catch look. And like I said, I was mostly coasting through the corners to save the tires, so I wasn't braking late or making any sudden changes in the direction, just keeping the steering wheel smooth and really carrying a little bit less speed than usual to preserve them in the middle of the corners. So later on, when it really mattered, I could use that extra grip to my advantage. The gap to Luke started to come down, and by lap 11, wind had taken the lead, which meant Luke's pace would probably drop off towards the end of this race. With the gap coming down to just about 2 seconds, I knew it was time to start pushing. And at that stage of the race, I mean, you simply have to go for it. Push to the limit and really see how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time. Oh, yeah, I think he's going to get it. He's going to get it. But you know what? I think I can be really happy with P3. And now I really wanted to show you what tire wear can really do. And you could clearly see the difference. And that's why in the last few laps, I was a bit quicker. It might not seem like much, but the small advantage made the whole difference. I was just maintaining the tires a little bit better. And overall, I really hope that you enjoyed the race. And if you did, consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.